Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Regarding her encounter with Kody Brown, Sister Wives Janelle Brown is questioned. Kody's apology tour began with Janelle. How would Janelle respond to a pressing question posed by her friend? Jen Sullivan's husband is battling cancer, and Mary Brown is holding a fundraiser for him. Kody visits Christine Brown Woolley and her husband, David Woolley, as part of his ongoing apology tour. Janelle respond to difficult questions. When Janelle meets with a friend, she talks candidly about her conversation with Kody. Janelle tells her about Kody's apology and how his admission that he didn't love her was the big takeaway. Because they had been too close, Janelle was aware that Kody was lying. It appears like Janelle and Kody parted ways amicably. Kody's kids weren't there. But now Jen's friend wants to know if Janelle would ever return to Kody. Janelle has stated on multiple occasions that she wouldn't mind getting married again. But Janelle most definitely does not want to experience all of this drama once more. Janelle schedules a time for her and Kody to visit their son's grave and place his army gravestone there. Fundraiser for the spouse of Jen Sullivan. For her best friend Jen Sullivan's husband, who is still undergoing cancer treatment, Mary is hosting a benefit at Lizzie's Heritage Inn. For a few years now, Jen's husband has been undergoing radiation and chemotherapy. Mary reminds Jen that she needs the assistance even if she may not be comfortable with this, because she values her privacy. Mary has extended an invitation to her friend from the previous speed dating event she attended. Mary is scheduled to pay him a visit. But this time, he's coming to see Mary. Mary wants him to see her small part of the world and her daily routine. How will Mary's buddy feel about her home? Will Mary and her friend's relationship progress? Christine Brown and Kody Brown meet. Kody is meeting with Christine and David on the next round of his apology tour. Christine is completely opposed to meeting with Kody. Christine claims that Kody would only lie to her in the future. David thinks that in order to improve Kody's relationship with his children, Christine must take this action. David makes the argument that Christine must teach her kids how to reconcile with Kody. Christine concurs for that specific reason. Is it possible for Christine and Kody to resolve their differences and allow their kids to reconnect with him? Will Christine listen to Kody and make an effort to assist her kids in improving their connection with him? Mary Brown's world is spinning faster than ever as Sister Wives Season 20 begins filming, and fans who thought they'd seen every twist, heartbreak, and redemption arc from the Brown family are about to be blindsided by a bombshell that even the most loyal followers couldn't have predicted, because while Kody Brown's name still echoes through Mary's past like an emotional scar that refuses to fade, Season 20 shifts its lens to a man who stands in complete contrast to every hurt she endured. A quietly powerful, unexpectedly charismatic figure named Ron, whose sudden presence in Mary's life, first as a supportive friend, then as a constant companion, and now as a man openly declaring he wants to marry her, has ignited a tidal wave of shock, speculation, and nervous excitement throughout the Sister Wives community. Because the implications of Mary finally moving on from Kody in such a permanent way threatens to change the entire dynamic of the franchise. For years, fans watched Mary shrink inside a spiritual marriage that offered her crumbs of affection, a relationship where her longing for love was met with distance, clipped words, and a man who had already emotionally divorced her long before making the split official. But Ron enters Season 20 like a warm sunrise breaking over a frozen landscape, offering Mary something she has not received in decades: consistent affection, undivided attention, and a sense of stability that she once envied in the marriages of her ex-sister wives. And what's even more shocking is how straightforward Ron is about his intentions. No vague statements, no spiritual ambiguity, no promises that fade with the wind. He wants Mary fully and publicly, and he wants a future with her that includes a legal marriage, something she hasn't had since the early years with Kody before the emotional unraveling began. Viewers will see their connection unfold slowly at first, beginning with their casual meetups at wellness events and business retreats, where Mary's post-split glow caught Ron's attention immediately, and people close to them say he admired how she carried herself with strength, humor, and a fierceness that had been buried under years of emotional neglect. And from that moment forward, Ron's presence became more and more woven into the fabric of Mary's new life, appearing in her social media comments, showing up in photos with her business friends, and eventually stepping into the spotlight on season 20 as the man who refuses to let her settle for less anymore. Fans who have followed Mary's journey know how deeply she longed to feel chosen, and Ron makes that longing finally materialize in ways that leave viewers stunned, because not only does he treat her as a priority, he openly discusses marriage in scenes that will have the audience wondering how Kody will react when he learns that the woman he dismissed so carelessly is now desired, valued, and pursued by someone who sees her worth clearly. The emotional tension ramps up when producers capture Mary wrestling with the shock that someone wants to marry her again, not out of obligation, not out of religious duty, but out of genuine, wholehearted love, which is something she feared she might never experience again after the catfish scandal, the public humiliation, and the breakdown of her relationship with Kody. Ron becomes the unexpected plot twist of the season, surprising even Mary with the boldness of his affection, whether he's seen offering her quiet encouragement during her business events, joining her for scenic road trips near Flagstaff and Utah, or simply showing up physically and emotionally in ways that contrast sharply with her past partner. Season 20 gives fans what they've been craving for years, a version of Mary who finally receives what she gives: devotion, loyalty, patience, and an eagerness to build something meaningful, and the on-camera chemistry between her and Ron leaves producers confident they've found the storyline that will dominate the entire season. Meanwhile, whispers begin swirling among Mary's former sister wives, especially Janelle and Christine, who reportedly feel relieved and excited that she is finally experiencing something that resembles real love, while Robin is said to be quietly rattled, knowing that Mary finding a new partner signifies a final, unbreakable emotional separation from the Browns, something Robin once hoped would never happen. Kody, on the other hand, becomes visibly unsettled on screen, not because he wants Mary back, but because the idea of someone else pursuing her, someone actually wanting to marry her, forces him to face a truth he never considered, that Mary's worth did not diminish when she left him. If anything, it multiplied the moment someone else saw the value he ignored. Throughout the season, Mary struggles with a mixture of joy and disbelief, questioning whether she is ready for marriage again, whether she trusts herself after the heartbreak she endured, and whether she is willing to let the world watch her fall in love again after years of judgment and mockery from critics who misunderstood her. Ron, however, remains steady, offering reassurance without pressure, simply reminding her that love does not need to be rushed, but that he wants her to know his feelings are real and his intentions are serious, and viewers will see scenes where he tells her that he envisions a future with her, a home, shared adventures, commitment, and partnership in every sense. Fans on social media erupt the moment the marriage rumor leaks, with some cheering wildly for Mary's long-overdue happiness, others stunned that the usually private Mary has connected with someone so openly, and many predicting that season May 20th become one of the highest-rated seasons simply because people want to see whether Mary finally says yes to a proposal that could redefine her entire identity outside the Brown family legacy. As the season builds toward its emotional climax, producers craft a storyline that keeps viewers holding their breath. Ron planning a heartfelt conversation with Mary on camera, discussing their future, discussing what marriage could mean for them, discussing whether she believes she's ready to take the leap again after years of being made to feel like a burden instead of a partner. The final episodes will reportedly show Mary confronting her fears, sitting with the weight of her past but recognizing, perhaps for the first time, that love does not have to hurt, loyalty does not have to be tested endlessly, and a man who wants to marry her does not need to hide behind spiritual loopholes or broken promises. The shock of Ron wanting to marry Mary becomes the heartbeat of the entire season, a storyline grounded not in scandal but in redemption, not in pain but in possibility, and fans will witness a Mary who evolves from uncertainty to empowerment as she realizes she is not only ready for love, but deserving of a man who sees her as a treasure, not an obligation. By the time the season ends, viewers will be buzzing with anticipation, wondering if a proposal is coming in season 21, whether Mary and Ron will chart a new life together away from the shadows of polygamy, and whether Mary's long journey toward healing has finally brought her to the love story she has always hoped for. And one thing is certain: Sister Wives season 20 will shock you, inspire you, and remind you that sometimes the biggest twist in reality TV is not the downfall of a relationship, but the unexpected rise of a woman who refuses to be broken and the man who steps into her life ready to love her the way she always deserved. As Sister Wives season 20 pushes forward, the tension surrounding Mary Brown's unexpected love story with Ron grows thicker, more electrifying, and impossible to ignore, because every new interaction between them is filmed with a level of warmth and emotional chemistry that producers never anticipated when they began charting the storyline. And what starts as a surprising subplot quickly evolves into the season's central heartbeat as Mary navigates the surreal experience of being genuinely desired after years of emotional abandonment. The cameras catch subtle moments that reveal the depth of Ron's feelings, like the way he steps aside so Mary can speak her truth uninterrupted, the way he listens with his full attention when she opens up about her past wounds, and the sincerity in his voice when he talks about wanting to build something solid, something healthy, something anchored in respect rather than control. And viewers notice how Mary, who once tiptoed around Kody's moods, trying not to upset him, now laughs more freely, stands taller, and radiates the kind of joy that can't be faked. And that joy becomes contagious as the audience rallies behind her, posting comments on social media begging the network to give her a special episode dedicated solely to her newfound relationship, because the transformation is too significant to be a mere side story. This is Mary's rebirth. And every scene with Ron feels like a piece of emotional justice served on a silver platter after years of watching her marginalized within the Brown family dynamic. Behind the scenes, producers admit they didn't expect Ron to become a major player in the narrative, but as his interactions with Mary deepen, as he begins attending family events, as he helps her with her B&B responsibilities or accompanies her to charity functions, his presence becomes undeniable, and everyone involved knows that viewers are about to witness the most dramatic shift in Sister Wives history. Mary finally building something real with someone who isn't Kody, someone who sees her as the prize, not the leftover. Drama escalates when the Browns hear about Ron's marriage intentions, particularly because it happens earlier in the season than anyone predicted, and while Christine cheers loudly in private confessionals, celebrating Mary's courage to open her heart again, Janelle offers a calmer but equally supportive stance, noting that Mary deserves stability and tenderness after years of emotional turbulence. But Robin, ever the emotional anchor for Kody, struggles with the implications of Mary moving on so completely, knowing that this will undoubtedly alter the family's already fragile dynamic and remove any hope of the original sister-wife structure surviving in public memory. Robin's discomfort grows more visible as the season progresses, especially when she admits she never expected Mary to form such a deep bond with someone else so quickly, and although she insists she wants Mary to be happy, viewers note the tension in her voice, the nervous flicker in her eyes, because she knows that Mary embracing a future with Ron means permanently severing her emotional tie to the Browns, and possibly shifting viewer sympathy away from the remaining polygamous core of the show. Meanwhile, Kody's reaction is a storyline of its own, as his initial indifference evolves into something more complicated, almost defensive, not because he wants Mary back, but because he can't comprehend that another man sees potential, value, and beauty in the woman he spent years dismissing. In confessionals, he downplays Ron as a rebound, attempting to frame Mary's journey as impulsive or emotional, but viewers quickly call out his hypocrisy, pointing out that Mary waited years for Kody to show her even a fraction of the commitment Ron displays within months. And as the internet erupts with commentary, memes, and threads analyzing Kody's discomfort, Ron quietly continues showing up, proving with actions, not performative statements, that he is here for Mary, Not for publicity, not for drama, but because he genuinely cares about her. Season 20 becomes a portrait of contrast. Ron's grounding energy versus Kody's defensive posturing, Mary's newfound confidence versus her years of shrinking herself, and the fresh, vibrant possibilities of monogamous love versus the fractured emotional reality of the Brown polygamous structure. As the season deepens, viewers see Mary facing internal battles she never fully shared before, questions about whether she is worthy of a healthy love after being conditioned to expect disappointment, fears about vulnerability, and the immense pressure of capturing a new relationship on national television, knowing millions are watching her every move. She confides to producers that opening her heart again feels like standing barefoot on broken glass, because although Ron is gentle, patient, and steady, her past trauma continues to whisper doubts in the back of her mind, telling her she's not enough, that it won't last, that she shouldn't trust happiness. But Ron, aware of her struggles, continues offering small, consistent gestures, bringing her coffee during long filming days, helping with repairs at her bed and breakfast, sending her notes reminding her that she deserves peace, and viewers collectively swoon at the tenderness he embodies, something absent from her life for far too long. As Ron becomes more integrated into Mary's world, sparks fly when he joins her on a trip to Parowan to visit Lizzie's Heritage Inn, where the cameras capture some of the most intimate emotional moments of the season. Mary tearfully reflects on how the inn represents generations of love and strength, and Ron responds with a heartfelt confession that he wants to be part of her legacy, that he sees her as someone he could build a life with, someone worth committing to fully, and the moment leaves. Producers speechless as Mary blushes, overwhelmed yet deeply moved. That scene alone becomes the clip that TLC uses to promote the season, generating millions of views and fueling a storm of excitement as fans begin insisting that Ron is Mary's redemption arc. Meanwhile, rumors swirl among tabloids claiming Ron has already purchased a ring, that he has spoken to Mary's close friends about proposing, and though TLC refuses to confirm anything, insiders suggest the season finale may feature Ron taking a major step toward commitment. Something that sends fans into a frenzy as they speculate whether season 21 could revolve around Mary planning her first legal wedding since divorcing Kody decades ago. Throughout all of this, Mary undergoes a physical transformation as well. Her outfits become brighter, her social media captions more confident, her energy more grounded, and fans notice that the woman who once clung to scraps of affection from the Brown patriarch is now flourishing under the attention of someone who sees her as a whole, complex, valuable human being. And still, the looming question hangs over the season like a storm cloud charged with anticipation. Will Mary accept Ron's desire to marry her, or will she retreat into the safety of independence, afraid to risk her heart again? Viewers will watch as Mary explores this crossroads with emotional honesty, unpacking her fears in therapy sessions that air on the show, discussing her dreams, and even questioning whether she is ready to take on the role of a wife again after decades of emotional turmoil. She admits on camera that she never expected another man to see her as marriage material.